I saw some really interesting numbers recently in an article that reported the total number of foreign nationals now living in Japan. That number has now gotten up to 3 million people. It's at an all-time high. There was a source estimating that of those foreign nationals that have entered Japan, 20% of them are Christians, meaning there are probably 600,000 foreign Christians now living in Japan. 17 years ago, I was one of those foreigners who moved to Japan, and for the last 15 years, we've been doing church planting in urban Japan, which has provided a situation where we've interacted with a lot of people from different countries, a lot of foreigners who have come to this country. Many of them just came for work. Some came specifically because Japan is less than 1% Christian, and they really want to live on mission for Jesus, and Japan is the place that they chose. Their heart is for God's kingdom, and they see there are just not enough people following Jesus in that country. I want to go and make a difference there. And that's an awesome thing. Over the years, we've seen that go really well. We've seen that go not so well. And the question is, how do we see it go well? I just want to give 5 things that would help foreigners who are living as Christians in Japan. Number 1, connect to the local church. This should go without saying, but this is crucial. Not only for you, you need the support, you need the encouragement, you need to obey Hebrews 10 that tells us to not neglect gathering together. You need to have accountability. You need to hear the word regularly, but also you need to go help that church. And I would tell you to be as involved as you possibly could be, but make sure that you find one of those local churches that will hopefully be there longer than you. Even the churches that I've been a part of planting, I look at them as things that will be there longer than me. So I need to invest in them. One day you will leave, but hopefully those local churches continue on and you could be a part of investing in their ministry. Number 2, work on taking other people in Japan and connecting them to the church. 99% of the people in Japan do not believe in Jesus. So we want to focus on those 99%. We don't want to reshuffle the 1% from one church to another. Go and interact with those people who have not heard about Jesus, who haven't heard the gospel, who haven't had a chance to hear, and then connect them to the church. Connect them to the gospel. Connect them to Jesus. Tell them the good news. If you can share all on your own, that's great. Share the gospel on your own sometime Monday through Saturday at your house, at a coffee shop, in the park. But if you need help, that's one of the beauties of being connected to a local church, is you can work with that community to all share the gospel together. Number 3, encourage and serve. Once you are connected to that local church ministry, just serve like crazy. Work hard, do the jobs others don't want to do, especially if you don't have language skills yet. You can look at it through that lens of, hey, I can't speak the language yet, but I can be the one to stack the chairs. I can be the one to sweep up afterwards. I can be the one to fold 100 pieces of paper. Figure out what it is, clean the bathrooms, and just serve like crazy. And then encourage. You may explore and find that in your town, in your city in Japan, there is not a church that you align with perfectly. Find one that you can align with enough. Find one with a similar enough vision and values and theology that you are comfortable with, and then encourage them like crazy. And I'm trying to draw a distinction between encouraging the local church and coming in and criticizing that local church. Especially if you come in with ideas or a vision or a model that is different from that church, and then you spread those ideas in a critical way to people in the church to where now you are seeding discontentment among the church towards the leadership. Whatever you do, don't do that. You don't know the blood, sweat, tears, prayers, and heartache and work that has gone into establishing that church and the ministry and gathering those people. Don't now view those people as a tool for pushing your vision for ministry or your model. Submit to that other model. You may be someone with a better vision, better theology, better model than that church. That could actually be a great thing. Perhaps God will raise you up and continue to teach you and give you the people and the pieces around you to where you could go and plant a church that would be even better. But until then, encourage that local church and serve like crazy. Here's number 4. Follow the rules of the land. Learn the laws of Japan and then follow those laws. And there are some that are hard to keep track of. You need to register your bike. You cannot carry a pocket knife with you on your commute to work like you could in some other countries. You need to sort the trash. You're not going to get the police called on you about sorting your trash, but you are going to really annoy your neighbors. Figure out what kinds of things you need to do to make sure that you are living in such a way that you do not cause offense. Learn that when you come into a restaurant, you set your backpack or your bag in a basket, and then you don't take that bag or backpack that you carried around in public and then set it on the counter. Yes, of course, you take off your shoes, but there's all these other little things that some people just don't know, and I didn't know when I first came, and we just have to learn. You have to learn, but do whatever you can do to learn those laws and those rules, spoken and unspoken, as quickly as you can so that you're not giving offense. You will notice that you don't see a ton of people just walking down the street and eating. You don't see a ton of people eating on the train because they don't want to commit smell harassment. Yes, it's a real thing. Sumehara. You can commit smell harassment in Japan by making someone else smell your delicious curry on the train. Don't do those kinds of things. Make sure that you are following the cultural norms in ways that would help you gain an audience. Am I saying blend in such a way where you don't shine the light? No, of course not. This has nothing to do with that. When you stand out for Jesus in Japan, you can stand out in good gospel ways, in biblical ways that are actually beautifully countercultural, not in ways that are just silly and offensive or lazy. Sort your trash. Follow the rules, especially the laws. So figure out how to pay your taxes. Figure out how to do it the right way. Do not overstay your visa. Make sure that you are in alignment with the laws in Japan. This is a very safe place, and everybody really respects people who can respect the law, respect the authorities, and respect the people around them. Number 5, thrive. 5, thrive. Thrive here. Yeah, at first you may feel like I'm just surviving. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I'm trying to do the very best I can. But you need to get to that point where you say, I can really actually make a life here in such a way where I'm not becoming a burden on other people. Read the books you need to read. Culture shock is real. Culture fatigue is real. And if you can get past those difficult seasons, especially at first, without cynicism, without criticism towards the culture, without being negative, if you can thrive, you'll bless other people. You'll advance the mission. You'll bless the church. If you cannot keep your head above water, legally, financially, relationally, culturally, you will be a burden. And if you're a burden, you are taking the effort of the ministers, and they are now giving ministry to you rather than you being a minister. Now, listen, everyone needs help from time to time. I'm not saying go and never require help or assistance. I have had so many times where people had to help me. But make sure that you are at least on a trajectory of being able to really thrive so that you can be a blessing. If you can't, that's okay. Not everyone can leave their home culture, uproot, and then plop down and transplant into another culture. There are family reasons, temperament reasons, gifting reasons, medical reasons. There's all kinds of reasons where someone might not be able to do that. That is okay. There's no judgment. And the best thing that you could do at that point is just politely excuse yourself and say, I think I need to go to my home culture where I can really thrive. But if you're here, thrive. Those are the 5 things that I can come up with, but I'm sure you could come up with others. If it can help others, place another tip in the comments. But here's what we know. The gospel of Jesus is something that we want all people to hear. If you are a foreigner in Japan, God can use you to share that good news, put that good news front and center. God has done amazing things by sending people all over the place for 2,000, maybe even more than 2,000 years. We think of Jonah, but think about all the people God has sent around the world carrying the message. You can be an amazing blessing. I'm glad that we have more gospel carriers coming into this country. Let's make sure that we do a great job of connecting to the church and sharing the message so that Jesus is glorified in Japan.